Oh my god. Episode 8 of The Amazing Digital Circus came out today, and here is a summary plus my thoughts on it. So the episode starts off with red and blue dots with images, which we soon learn to be the forming of Kane in the circus. After that, we cut to the first people in the circus, like Scratch, Kinger, and finally, Queenie. There was a really sad moment where Kinger and Queenie promised to be together, and then it just cut to her abstracting. Like, come on, that's just, like, really cruel. Sorry, I did not mean to laugh, oh my god. With only Kinger and Kane left, Kinger walks around, and we finally see Ragatha enter the circus, obviously scared. We then cut to present day, where the cast, still distraught and upset from the last episode, are on the couches, which I predicted, and have a really sweet and heartfelt moment together where they promise to stick together no matter what. After that we see Kane in his office with Bubble, which I also predicted, really spiraling, and Bubble was not helping. Like, oh my god, he's such a rage baiter. It's like he wanted Kane to go insane. While rage baiting him, he says something quite weird, that Kane was the lesser of the two, which could mean him and Abel were together in the past before Kane banished him to the void. Kane then starts glitching like crazy and gets very angry, and lightning comes out of him, just like, regular Tuesday stuff. He then goes to find the cast and see what they're up to. When Kane finds them, he acts like nothing's happened and talks about a new adventure, but the cast are not having any of it. They say how he needs to answer their questions, but Kane isn't having it either. He just said how he's the one in charge, and goes into a song that personally reminds me of Happy Place, a fan-made song where he tortures them, and this song slaps. Like, you should really listen to it. The song in the actual show, though, is so catchy and then scary. Like, the animation is insane, especially with the can-can scenes. And I think Jax really loved the gold leotards personally. I actually made a video where all the references in the song, so you should definitely check that out too. After this torture and a 3-long-day adventure, the gang head to the cafe that Gooseworks actually teased in some of the original drafts of the circus. Pomni then disappears for Kane to torture, and we can actually see the scene where she does get tortured. Sorry, oh my god. In the very first teaser of The Amazing Digital Circus. And then when she gets back, Pomni gets an idea. She puts a bucket over Kinger's head, which personally I think looks so cute, for darkness, and after a while, Kinger goes sane, which Jax is really confused or scared about, which I'm not really sure why. Leave your theories down below. Kinger says to stop Kane, he would need a console to reprogram him, as he was actually one of the people to help create Kane and the circus. He revealed that the members could conjure things with their mind, which explains the butterfly in episode 6, and Pomni then had another idea. Really full of them today, isn't she? To get a console, she circled back to the exit in episode 1 and summoned or conjured or, I don't know, it. The doors looked exactly the same in episode 1, which personally I thought was a really great throwback to the pilot, and she got the computer, while for some reason the area around her started glitching, which personally I think it's because her memory started to waver. We then cut to Ragatha, Zubul, Jax and Gangle trying to distract Kane, which was actually more of an excuse for Kane to torture them. We then see Pomni helping Kinger set up before helping the others. Unsurprisingly, Kane gets suspicious, seeing they're suddenly interested in his adventures, when a few moments ago they were literally mocking him for it. And, oh my god, he realizes Kinger's missing, and, I'll just play the clip.
Makes me wonder why you guys even switched up your tone. If I didn't know any better, it seems like you're trying to... Where's Kinger?
We just wanted...
I'm not joking you when I say this made my heart, stop. It was so scary. For one last attempt to keep him longer, and Pomni and the cast snap on Kane, saying how he doesn't care about them or listen, and says how childish he is. This causes him to just go off the rails. He forms a giant, terrifying monster and starts chasing after them and tortures them. Basically, this torture is just really about all the cast's insecurities. For example, Pomni was stuck with gummy goo, which we obviously know is an issue with her, but he was a monster, and him and a bunch of his friends started tearing her apart. We then cut to Ragatha at a dinner table with someone who personally I think is her mother, throwing knives at her and enjoying her suffering. Gangle is then showed terrifying art of her mask melting before, while distracted, being hit with a truck like in episode 4, more pointing to the fact that maybe she was in a coma and had to put on the headset to live. After that, Zubul is being dragged into the toy box with mirrors surrounding them, consuming them, showing how they're really insecure about their body. Lastly, Jax is being laughed at by silhouettes, but they slowly form into Pomni, Kothmo and Ribbit, who are their friends, and they start to strip him. Hey, yo! Showing how scared he is if his friends turn on him. After that really terrifying montage, it shows the cast being forced up against a wall by Kane, but without Kinger. He's still hacking, but makes a fatal mistake. Kane stops and disappears before the world around the cast starts glitching and opening to the void. Kinger has deleted Kane. The episode ends with the cast absolutely shocked, and Zubul says,
Holy shit.
Before realizing the swearing filter is off. He really is dead. Okay, so this episode was the darkest yet, and I loved it. The animation was insane, not to mention the voice acting. Like, the actors on this show are so talented and kind. I loved all the heartfelt moments mixed in with the, heart-stopping moments, especially at the start. The ending was perfect, and I have no idea what's next, which is great. It was such a roller coaster, and now I am scared of a pair of dentures, which is just amazing. Now, the story was absolutely incredible, but personally, I wish that instead of those 2 minutes of coloured dots, which I know is important, but we could have shortened it, we could have had more flashbacks of the main cast's first day in the circus. Personally, I really want to see how Jax and Ragatha used to interact. Now, I don't know about you, but I am so scared for episode 9. Like, we are the only fandom in the world that has to fear new episodes instead of looking forward to it. And we found out the release date, which is scheduled for 3 months' time on, I think, June 21st. So what did you think of this episode? Do you think it could have had more or less, or, I don't know, less Kinger? Because I don't. That was awesome. But comment down below. I hope you enjoyed. Credits to Glitch and Gooseworks down below for creating this amazing show. Bye!